Hello and welcome to Jatv show. This is the final Jatv show of 2020. What a crap year it's been. I know I've not been on I've been quite quiet over the last few months, partially because the boxing hasn't really got back. Well, it hasn't got back at all, and partially just because I've had to focus on some other stuff. But 2021 is going to be our year, as I'm sure it will be for a lot of other people. Coming up on the show, we have eventually that exhibition fight that we filmed back, I think it was October. We did have some issues with the sound, so what I'm going to do is just record over and we'll do like a live commentary on the fight. But before that, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who has supported all the projects that we do with Jatv. As I said, it has been a tough year for a lot of people. Hopefully 2021 will be better. I know it's going to take a few months before people start getting like the vaccines and we're able to go out and stuff like that. I'm hoping that we can do something with boxing. I'm sure when you see the video that we're going to show you of Kyle Hendry and Callum Robertson fighting, putting on an exhibition. It's not a fight. They put on sort of exhibition sparring session out in 99 Boxing Club. Hopefully people will watch that and think, do you know what, we can do this in the gym. So as soon as restrictions maybe ease, we can put maybe pressure on some of the governing bodies and the government to see if there's any way we can put shows on for amateur clubs. I've got a few ideas how I think it will work. I know a lot of people have spoke to me about it, and I know I've been talking about it now for months. It's just the restrictions were sort of stuck. However, a few of them could be that boxers go around and get sponsorship. I would sponsor a boxer who was fighting at the weekend, even if I couldn't attend. Or we could sell tickets online. The difficulty with that is there is a commission that the platforms take. So even if we're not charging to film it, we still have to pay a fee to the platforms to stream it. And if you're making money for ticket sales, then they'll take a percentage of that. But it is workable. The other option is that we just put the stream out live and we get sponsors to either sponsor, like companies that can sponsor the events. But I know a lot of small businesses are struggling, like my own. So it may be an idea that we look at the sponsorship of people buying like electronic tickets or things like that. But anyway, there's plenty of time to discuss it. I know that we could put some pressure on maybe Boxing Scotland and the government to sort of allow maybe even age restricted shows, because they did ease up. The reason we filmed Callum and Kyle was because at that time under 18s were allowed to spar. But let's see how it goes. Until then, thank you so much again for believing in the channel and sharing all our stuff. And hopefully 2021 will be amazing for so many boxers. So I'm going to put on, you will see me again, I'm going to pop up here and then. I'm testing this software out as well and the new equipment we've got. Like I can switch between this camera and this camera. I've got another camera that I'll just show you. It's a dark screen, but you'll still hear me. But that's software now. And we've got it linked up to the video, so we can play right now. I'll just start the video for you. Good evening, welcome to Jatv Live. We'll come to you from the Anthony Boxing Club in Dalmuir. Joining me on commentary tonight is Regan Scullion. Regan, how you doing? Looking forward to the main event tonight. So from here on in, we will be attempting to make it a bit dramatic, to make it like it is a main event from a show. We will be introducing two boxers who will compete in an exhibition sort of style sparring session. Our timekeeper tonight is Danny Scullion, who has gladly donated his time. And in charge of the action in the ring will be James Hilton. So I'm going to pop back in here, making his way to the ring from Antonine Boxing Club in Dalmuir is Callum Robertson. and his opponent making his way to the ring, also from Antonine Boxing Club in Dalmuir, is Kyle Hendry. So our main event is sponsored by Ecos Wildlife Management. In charge of the action in the ring is James Hilton. And James will bring both boxers together. Just to explain the rules, don't expect too much aggressiveness. It is, we have spoke to both boxers, it is a sparring session that we are putting on like an exhibition. And round one's begun. There should be a wee timer that comes up so we can keep an eye on the clock. But I hope Danny Scullion is, well, I know he's doing his job. So as I said, I had to record over the commentary. Regan did do a fantastic job. We just had some problems with the mic, but it's fine. We just got the equipment back in October, so we were still testing it. Straight away you can see the pressure that Kyle's put on. Just run through some stats of both the boxers. So Kyle is currently 17 years old. He will be making the transition, I think, to youth very shortly. I think it's, if not already, in 2021. He did start boxing when he was 14, and you would have previously seen him in Kirkintilloch, and he joined Antonine around July time. Now, Antonine has got about 20 boxers. They also have like fitness classes. They've got the kids class and the women's class. And their 20 boxers are obviously all ready to compete. I think they train about 4 times a week. Now, in terms of Callum, who's younger, he's 2 years younger. Yes, I think his height is he does look a bit taller. He's been boxing since he was 9. So technically he's got more years experience. However, Kyle does have a lot more experience in some of the bigger competitions, as he is in older categories. It's difficult to keep an eye what's going on in the ring. This is something I'm going to need help with. I know Monty Ogilvie is offered to help, so hopefully if we get shows back up, he'd be sitting with me, or we'll have some other boxers and special guests coming into the last 5 seconds of the first round. And there we go. We have added in some of the noises. We didn't have a proper bell ring. Also I'm just going to pop up on your screen now. Also the crowd noises have been added because we don't have a crowd. That's something we could do even at live events. These two boxers do have a lot of respect. They're obviously teammates at Antonine. They have a lot of respect for each other. 2 years difference, but I think Kyle shows his maturity, but also his respect for younger boxers, and that's something that comes across with the coaches as well. I think most boxing gyms you would see that. I'm going to disappear as I think round 2 is just about to start. James Hilton as the referee is doing great, isn't it? Do you know, it's something I can't wait to get. Just see, even watching this, I just can't wait for the boxing to get back on, and we can see something. It's fantastic watching stuff on Sky Sports, but the atmosphere isn't there, and there is a difference between being in an amateur event and watching online or watching on your TV and stuff like that. Kyle's sort of picking up the pace, but I think Callum's doing brilliant to respond. Both keeping their composure. Now we've got 2 cameras on the ring just now, just to explain how this works. Ideally we would have 3 and then 1 on the commentary table, so we can work with 4 cameras. You would have seen at the beginning we put up the profiles of the boxers as we introduced them. That's something that you can do. You can go on jtvscotland.com/boxing profile, and you can upload a picture of yourself. If we were to turn up at boxing events, we would expect this to be done like a week prior, so we can get all the technicalities sorted out. just want to say, in case I probably did say it like a million times, but thanks to Antonine and both boxers for doing this for us. Gave us an opportunity to test out the cameras, iron out some issues. I think you see the experience of Kyle. I mean, we've featured Kyle on the show. He's been interviewed a few times. We filmed a few of his fights. Sometimes at the wrong end, like split decisions, which it's always a bit unfair. That is the end of round 2. So imagine me popping up in between, not just me, but with our commentary team.
Join it, Regan. I guess you just employ Regan. You could call help us.
You should just employ Regan, Jamie. Regan was promoted to executive director, I think. I found this hard. I found this really difficult to commentate at the time. I've now cut that commentary because we didn't get Regan in, so it was a bit. I wanted Regan to be included. James gained some advice in between, which is something referees are allowed to do. Referees are allowed to give some advice, I'm sure, in between the bouts or throughout the bouts. Just waiting for that third.
So we're just going into the third and final round.
Great, well done, good job, Jamie. Proud of you. Third round, here we go. Lively crowd there in the background. I wonder what's going through each of the boxers' minds. We do speak to them. Yeah, you'll see that after this. But we do speak to 2 of them, and I know we sort of we were explaining to them. Listen, it's a sort of exhibition sparring. James was there to keep an eye on it, but I mean they've not been competitively fighting in the ring. They must wanted to maybe show off their skill and ability a wee bit. Shout out to the cameraman who's currently got this shot, Fizzy, who's just a new cameraman who's been working with us. He was working with our drones, so we'll try to get him to help us in the boxing. So it's difficult to, if you've never filmed a boxing bout before. And Ecos Wildlife Management, thanks for sponsoring Antonine, and we put them as the sponsors of this fight. Coming up to the last minute, so it's quite a decent six minutes. As I said, I need somebody to help with the technical parts, because I mean, I'm loving this, but there'll be people that will be able to describe it better than me. And also I was thinking get a wee like CGI, either Gregory Houston or, I know Craig Stevens already CGI because he's in that boxing game. Maybe we could raise money to buy the CGI version of Craig Stevens. No, ideally at boxing events we would have them in the ring. And that's us. And what an absolute fantastic, well done. Huh? So, obviously it's an on-scoring bout. We don't have an overall winner, but both guys done amazing. 15 years old Callum Robertson and 17-year-old Kyle Hendry. I've never filmed Callum before, but I'm hoping I see a lot more of him in 2021. And we'll ask James just to raise both boxers' hands when he's ready. Fix your mask, it's important. I did bring visors we'll go up on before, it was a bit overkill. And he just raised both the hands and you hear the crowd. Well done, and now we'll just go to the interviews. I'm now joined by both of our boxers. First of all, guys, thanks for putting the time in and letting us test out with our equipment. I also want to say thanks to Regan Scullion before I go. He's been amazing, helped me in commentary. I'm sure he'll be back next time there's a show on. Kyle, first of all, how are you finding the restrictions and all this garbage with lockdown?
Well, it's brutal, you know, when you're trying to get going with the boxing, you know, but I mean, you just take it as it comes, and you need to do what you need to do, and I mean, we're taking over. You seen with the sparring and stuff. You know, when you've got the likes of James, he's keeping us fit. You know, we're all running on the Strava app and that. So just got to be prepared for when it's time to go again.
Are you missing the competitions?
100%, aye.
I forgot to mention, like, you're Scottish Intermediate champion. So now you're moving up into youth. What are you hoping for in the next year? Obviously, depending on whether the restrictions get lifted.
Just whatever I can get, you know. Like, I'm going to train as hard as I can train, you know. So just go and win whatever I can win, you know. I mean, I know for going into every fight I'm going to get 100%. So I'll be prepared for when fights do start again. So
the sparring, although being a exhibition sort of style spar for your benefit, it was quite an intense spar. Is it always like that with you guys?
A wee bit. I mean, we like to test each other, you know. We're both quite good, or we believe so anyway, you know. So it's good to get a boy like Callum, you know, who he's a bit younger, but his talent level's up there, you know. So I mean, it's brilliant. It's brilliant sparring everywhere you go, but this is brilliant, and I've got to get better than this.
And Callum, you were a MTK Box Cup champion. Same question to you. You looking forward to maybe after the new year, the restrictions being eased a bit and getting back in the ring and competing?
Aye, I can't wait, man. See once competitions start back and able to get back in the ring and fighting again, man. It's going to be good. Just looking forward to getting into like the Scottish, winning the Scottish hopefully, man. Then going over to bigger and better things hopefully. And then here with James and Antonine, I feel it's the best thing. I think with James, he can take me to that next level to win the Scottish and that. Same with like Kyle and that. So
is it handy to have Kyle that you're able to? He's about the same height, but I know he's a different categories, different ages and stuff. Is it handy to have somebody that sort of, you've been boxing longer?
For a wee bit. He's had more fights than me, right enough, but.
Oh, so you're the more experienced man. So is it alright teaching Kyle like how it is in the ring?
It's good, man. Having somebody like Kyle to spar's good because his talent level, he knows. Like when you're in sparring with him, it's always good competitive sparring. He always like pushes you that bit further. I mean, like you're needing to get ready for a fight or something, man. He always like pushes you and see you need to like switch your styles up, man. He's willing to do it. If you're fighting a southpaw, he'll go southpaw, and then just again like his talent, and that's always good to find somebody like that top level that will obviously push you further on and make you better.
So there's a few tough shots getting thrown in that ring between the two of you. Is there any time you think, oh, just give me a timeout, or was there more pressure because the cameras are here? How do you find it?
Nah, I'm just getting used to it at this point, taking shots off him, man. Big right hands, man. It's good, but man, just body shots, head shots, man. Take it off him.
It's the same for him, but he's going up weight and I'm going down weight. So I'm starting to feel his power a wee bit, you know. And I mean, you can see looking at him, he's a big boy, you know. So
you're standing in the ring. I'm not actually this wee, but let's see how it looks. I look tiny compared to the two yous. But do you find that during the lockdown there's a lot of shift between weights? Some boys have grown up and take a stretch. Other boys have been trying to focus on the weight to bring it back down. How have you found it during the lockdown in terms of keeping the weight that you're aiming for?
Well, I'm doing fine with it, to be honest. I'm trying to get down to 60. So I'm sitting roughly about 62 there now, but I mean, we've done stuff with James before. It's like we'll try to set a time period to get down to 60. So all through this lockdown, we've just been still working, trying to get goals and tick them off. So we're working quite well.
And how about yourself? What weight are you sitting at just now?
I'm sitting at about 63. I was 60 kilo last season. That's where I want to be this season because I feel a lot bigger, stronger at 63. And like making 60 kilo was a bit of a struggle. It wasn't too hard, but it was like you'd always need to do that extra ping the night before, maybe run the treadmill for ages, man, build up a sweat. But just all through lockdown, man, ticking away, keeping going, keeping the fitness going, and then as again, whenever fighting and competition start back, just make sure I'm ready for them and that.
Finally, how difficult you think it's going to be when you finally go back to competitions? There's going to be boys that maybe, as I said, have moved up, that maybe came into your weights or maybe left your weights, and there's going to be people maybe you've never heard of before. Is it like that every year and you just get used to it, or is it like, there's boys that maybe you had an eye on before that you wanted to fight, now they've just disappeared? Or
no, you've always got the same names in the finals and stuff, you know, like you always see the same names in the finals and that, so you kind of know to judge who's the better boys and who's no so better. But it's like there's boys come through all the time, you know, like boys that maybe just started but they're up there, you know. So I don't know, as long as you're prepared, I suppose you take anybody, you know.
You agree?
Aye, same here. It's just you always kind of see the same names making it to the final and getting like further up in the stages, but then and now you'll maybe go in, you'll be like, who's this boy? Maybe 8-9 fights, you'll watch him and he's talented, man. He's got a bit something about him, fight him in the finals and he's quite good, man. So it's just looking forward to it, 'cause there'll also be new people in like my weight division and that, so it'll be good to get new fights and that and just keep going.
So lads, thanks so much. We'll just ching it here. Thanks for obviously coming in. Showing us a display, a fantastic display. Guys, that's us for JTV Live, come from Anthony Boxing Club in Dalmuir. This fight was sponsored by Ecos Wildlife Management, and hopefully we can do more of this when lockdown restrictions start to ease, and maybe look at streaming a show to maybe generate money for the boxing clubs, or just to get boxers fighting back at the ring. Thank you. Didn't I do well? We just end that recording. So, didn't I do well? Didn't Callum and Kyle do well? And James at the ring, and you would have Regan Scullion did help me on the commentary, and we had Danny Scullion as the timekeeper. So this is something I want. I'm desperate to do. I want to be able to go and we can do more shows, film it, speak to boxers. It feels like it's almost a year. It's like 3 months, obviously 3 months short of the year, but I think it'll be probably a full year before we start seeing some boxers again. As you've seen from those guys, we'll talk about how big Callum's got. There is, every time I bang into boxers, I mean, I don't know, for example, the guys out in Renfrew, you've got Robert McNulty, you've got, my brain is just right blank, you get Jason McCormick, you get Finn as well, Finlay there as well. These guys are huge now. We Adam Lyne, he was in Glasgow City now, he's in Rob Roy. These, over the last year, I think people have grown, and when they come back, boxing competitions are going to be totally different, because you get people who they don't know who each other are anymore. People maybe learn different fighting styles. They've put on a bit more weight, or they've lost weight. So people are going to be totally different, and I think 2021 will be like a refresh for some people. Saying that, other people may have gave up in boxing, or other people may decide that competing isn't for them. It has been difficult, and I think now we just need to push it and try and get back. So the fight was sponsored by Ecos Wildlife Management. As I said, thanks so much to them for supporting Antonine Boxing Club and everything they've done. I know since then they've put on competitions to raise money, like buying Xboxes and PlayStations and stuff. Just a heads up, the other thing that I'm working on is the FIFA 2021 tournament. To register, just now you're only registering your interest. We're not asking for anyone to pay the entry fee. The reason for the entry fee is to cover the costs and also to make sure there's a proper prize fund. So top prize is £1,000, second prize is £650, and the second runner-up, third place, would get £350. So it's £50 to enter. All you have to do just now, if you're interested, is register. Just a wee bit about how it will work. We'll have 64 players initially on day one. Each player will be split into one of the 16 teams. So kind of like how you see with the Champions League and stuff like that. So you have group stages where everyone will play each other once. So you'll have three matches, and then we'll decide the top two from each group, and then they'll go through to day two, where we'll have obviously 32 people playing it, and then we'll work it all the way down. On day two, there'll be an ultimate winner, and then that person will win the £1,000. So all you have to do to register just now, just register your interest, just to say, I'm interested, keep me up to date. It doesn't mean that you need to come through to play. It doesn't mean you owe us any money or have to pay anything. But if you visit hotspotglasgow.com/FIFA 2021, details are up on the screen just now. That is going to kick off as soon as the restrictions ease up a bit in Glasgow. We will be still following restrictions, so each group will be entering the tournament at the same time. So you'll only ever be in the room with between 4 and 6 people maximum, and we will try and stream and film as much as we can. So other than that, guys, that's it. It is New Year's Eve. I don't know what I'm doing tonight. I don't know if I'm allowed to say what I'm doing tonight, but I'm going to be at home anyway. I'll try and have as quiet a one as I can. If you are partying, just be safe. I know there won't be everybody won't be following the restrictions, and people need a release. It has been a difficult year, and I think we've all tried to do our best to keep safe. And I'm not even looking at the right camera. I'm looking at that camera. Let me just swap. There we go. No, I prefer this one. So I've been looking at this camera the whole time. So let me say my heartfelt thanks once again, and have an amazing or as best a new year as you can. It is a tough year for people. There are support groups and there are people out there that can help if you need a chat, or just don't ever be worried to take the first step to speak to someone, or maybe you could be that person. I sometimes find myself that when I try and help people or I try and do the good things, it makes me feel better, and that's what I would encourage you to do. Like, even if you have nothing, you can still offer a phone call or a chat with someone who's maybe in a worse or bad situation. So that's it for me, guys. I know I've said it already, but thanks so much. 2021 will be launching like so many. I want to try and do as much as I can for January. So maybe we'll have like a regular, aiming for a daily show eventually. So we'll be talking about all sorts, just try and get stuff off the ground, keep moving. That's my New Year's resolution. Also, I'm going to be trying to go to the gym and be a bit healthier, because I'm surrounded by athletes all the time, and I just look at a place, try to interview them when I'm just at McDonald's. So that's it for me. Happy New Year, and I'll see you in 2021. Take care. Bye-bye.